Keep your hair stretched to reduce tangles and breakage. If you're trying to grow your natural hair long, here's a tip that might seem controversial. Keep your hair stretched, not necessarily straightened. And here's the reason. Some black natural hair creators have been doing this for years as part of their length retention routine. Creators like indigenous strands, Alicia Ray, Lindsay Chris, and Simone Hughes have all discussed stretching, no manipulation, styling, or keeping natural hair elongated as part of caring for and retaining their natural hair. And the reason this can be helpful comes down to something very simple: tangle. When tightly coiled hair shrinks up, your strands aren't just sitting neatly beside each other. They're curling, bending, looping, and sometimes wrapping around other strands. And the tighter the curl pattern, the more opportunities there are for those strands to interact with each other. That can mean more single-strand knots, tangles, and difficulty detangling. And every time you have to aggressively separate those tangled strands, you create another opportunity for breakage. So stretching your hair can help reduce some of that. When your hair is stretched, the strands are more elongated. That doesn't magically make your hair stronger, but it can make your hair easier to manage. You're less likely to have your strands constantly wrapping around each other, and detangling can become easier. And if you can detangle your hair with less pulling, tangling, tugging, and manipulation, you have a better chance of keeping the hair you've already grown. And remember, length retention is the name of the game. There's another claim you often hear about stretched or straightened hair, that your scalp's natural oils can travel down the hair shaft more easily. And there's some logic behind that. Sebum doesn't move down tightly coiled hair as easily as it can along a relatively straight hair surface, because curls and bends interrupt that movement. That's one reason tightly coiled hair can feel dry even when your scalp is producing natural oil. But here's the important point: stretching your hair doesn't automatically moisturize it, and you don't need straight hair to have healthy hair. Your natural texture can be incredibly healthy. The goal is simply to make your hair easier to manage and reduce unnecessary manipulation. Stretching doesn't have to mean pulling out a flat iron. That's actually an important distinction. You can stretch your hair with braids, twin-strand twists, apple-time threading, banding, roller sets, or even certain low manipulation styles that keep the hair elongated. So you can maintain the benefits of having your hair stretched without using direct heat. And this is something I'm experimenting with on my own hair, because my goal isn't simply to make my hair look longer. And my goal is to see whether keeping my hair stretched and contained can help me retain more of the length I'm already growing. Because think about it, if your hair grows half an inch, but you also lose that half inch to breakage, you haven't really moved forward. That's why I keep coming back to this idea. Growing hair is only half the battle. Keeping it is the other half. Now I want to be clear, I'm not saying everyone needs to keep their hair straight. And I'm definitely not saying straight hair is healthier than curly hair. If you love your shrinkage, embrace it. If you love wearing your curls, wear them. But if you struggle with constant tangling, single strand knots, or breakage when detangling, stretching might be something worth experimenting with. The key is finding a method that's gentle on your hair, because a stretched hairstyle that's too tight or causes excessive tension can create its own problem. So if you're trying to grow your natural hair long, don't only think about how can I make my hair grow. Think about how can I make it easier for my hair to survive. Because sometimes the secret to longer hair isn't getting your hair to grow faster. It's creating an environment where the hair you've already grown doesn't break off. While I'm testing with my own hair change. Stretch it, protect it, leave it alone, and most importantly, retain it. Subscribe for more. Patreon, MaeTales.com.